everybody, and welcome to the living room. He's Wolf, I'm Tunch. We're not in the locker room, but we're in the living room. Are you in the living room?
No, man. I'm in another room upstairs, but there's a vacuum cleaner right behind me. I think my wife is trying to make a point, saying maybe pick it up and do something with it.
I'm in the den. So, Wolf, what did you think of that draft? It was much more compelling than I thought it would be. With the kids of the coaches and the GMs and the dogs.
Did you see that with Mike? Mike Tomlin was trying to. See Mike looking to hear this. Really is off screen. He's like, you can see the eyes darting over there. Yeah, there was a lot of challenges in this draft, and I think one of the most significant challenges, Chaluch, especially when you talk to Kevin Colbert or Brandon Hunt, had that opportunity yesterday, is the fact that the technical things that you had to do to keep from having glitches. Because, we're those technified guys. Well, they're the same. Kevin's our generation, He don't think music before the 90s or 80s, you know what I mean? So the fact he's, technically there was a lot of challenges in that draft.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to music before the 70s and 60s.
Oh, that's it. There we go.
I love the snacks. I love the kids from the coaches. I love the dogs. Nike, Bill Belichick's dog. It looked like he was helping make him picks. And how about the commissioner doing the TikTok dance? Did you see that?
I did not see that. Some of that whole, Roger Goodell's man cave to me was a little suspect. You know what I mean? You got the whole big board there and everything. It was a little bit different, but you know what? I really think that there's going to be some opportunities to take some of the things they gleaned, because their viewership, of course, was up huge because everybody got a captive audience. But there's some elements I think that they might be able to take in-house. Yeah,
well, let's talk about the Steelers draft pick. How about Chase Claypool from Notre Dame as the second-round pick? How'd you like that guy?
Man, I couldn't believe you get this guy in the second round, Chaluch. I mean, you think about it. This is a Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Two other Steeler Canadians. Can you do it?
Yeah.
Come on, tell me who. There's one obvious. Who? Give me another Steeler that's a Canuck.
No,
Kicker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, Sean Sweezum.
Yeah, Sean Sweezum, but he's not there now.
No, but Canadian-born, like Chase Claypool, okay? Yeah. I mean, Roy Jarella was from Alberta. Did you know that?
Yeah.
All right? They are Mitch Berger from British Columbia. Just throwing those out there. But Chase Claypool, here we go. I love this guy. Look, Chaluch, 6'4", 238 pounds. He's run a 4.4, got a 40-inch vertical. That's more than you or me, that's for sure.
Right. He is a beast. He's strong and fast, and this is my notes on him. You know what? He throws guys out of the way. Out of the way.
Oh, he's got a real club.
Yeah, right. He reminds me of David Boston. Do you remember David Boston?
Yes.
He played for San Diego and Arizona. Yeah, right. He lifted himself out of the league.
He did. Yeah. Who's the other guy? Mike Kruzek.
Yeah.
Quarterback with 19-inch biceps.
Yeah. So he 66 receptions, 1,037 yards, 3 TDs. Coach Kelly was saying he's a tough guy. He's a great teammate. He can block. He's physical at the point of attack. He could go long. He's got a great catch radius, and he's really good at catching the ball, and he loves the game. And he's, like you said, he's from Canada.
Right. And I thought a couple of interesting things that I looked at. Number one was, like you said, he's got the watch swat. That's a club. That's a big league club, knocking the defensive back and man press out of the way. Second thing was he had a shake and bake where he almost broke the ankles of another press corner on him. So you shake and bake a guy, or you can smack him out of your way. That tells me you've got a great opportunity to be very physical and be one of those guys that can do a lot of motion shifts, things where you can block a little bit. And the other thing about it is I really found this interesting listening to Brian Kelly when Missy did an interview with him, from Notre Dame, and he talked about the fact this guy doesn't surround himself with other stars. This guy identified with walk-ons.
Right.
One of these guys that brings the other players in-house, and I like that. When you talk about that as something significant that matters to a head coach, I think that's something that is great for team chemistry.
Yeah, he's a great teammate. He's a great teammate. And one of the things is the Steelers offensively are getting more physical. You remember Mike Mularkey when he was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers? He said, I want our offense to people be talking about our offense as physical as our defense. And that's when Blitzburg was available, and James Harrison, and very, very physical defense. But that's what this offense is going to look like, I think, this year. Very, very physical.
This is important. I think you're hitting on something big here, because you talk about Mularkey. We used to call that blue-collar smash mouth with a touch of effervescence.
Right.
Okay? So the fact is, and you were pointing this out long before I really hooked onto it, but Mularkey would use some shifts in motion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin said Matt Canada is going to have some input, and Matt Canada is pretty good with that smoke and mirrors, pre-snap shifts, motion, jet motion, zipper motion, all that kind of stuff. I like it. And Chase Claypool is one of those guys that I think fits it. The third-round pick, the second pick, but it's the third-round pick, Alex Highsmith, University of Charlotte. Third round,
Alex Highsmith. Huh?
You're speaking too fast. What is it? Third, second round, where are we going?
The third-round pick, but it's their second pick. Alex Highsmith.
On Monday Night Football, you confuse me. This is like Saturday before a Monday game, or Thursday before never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. How do you like Alex Highsmith?
I like him a lot. That's a high-energy pain bringer. You watch this guy, and this is one of the things that I thought was significant. His up-the-field rush, here's what I love. When he turned the back corner, he ran that arc. He didn't run it around. I mean, he flattened that baby. I'm not talking coronavirus flattening the curve. I'm talking about pass rushing, flattening the curve. When he disengaged, man, that was a nice backdoor move.
I thought you were going to say he dips and rips.
Well, he does dip and rip, yes, but I was like, I couldn't believe how he sheared the corner when he was turning it on those tackles. But you're right, the dip and rip is it's not the James Harrison, just rip and no dip because he's so short. Chase Highsmith or Alex Highsmith has got to be a guy that has got the ability to really get under and up and use that hip.
Yeah. You know what I like about him? The word that describes him to me is relentless. He is relentless. He's trying to get to the quarterback. He can rip. He's got a great inside swim move. He's got a great inside club move. And he's not bad at bull rushing. And I think that he's going to be a great third rusher for the Steelers, especially since Anthony Chickillo is gone. Right. He's going to fit that role.
I would agree, Chaluch. The other thing that I liked about it was he looks like he's got some hand-fighting capabilities. We saw the trap, the slap, the uppercut, that sort of thing. But the other thing about it, too, was, some guys, when they disengage, it takes them a while to locate the quarterback.
Yeah.
This guy had a homing device in his head, or he's one of those trackers. He's got that sense of where the launch point is for a quarterback. So when he disengages, he gets after it. It might take him a little longer to get there on some pass rushes, but he does not spend time like a bull in a China's shop looking around, or a blind dog in a meat house trying to find him. So he gets after it. So I would agree with you. He's a high motor guy.
Yeah, he's got a great feel for the game, great instincts, and he's very explosive. He's got a great get off. He was a hand in the ground defensive end, but I saw him rush a couple times from up. and he's good at that. And he shared his testimony on the interview. He's a man of God, and
Cool.
That's very cool. Yeah, and very explosive. Yeah.
It's funny because he was kind of late developer. He grew, and people weren't thinking, it was, when he hit college that he wasn't going to have the size he had, but he really looks to me, and he's one of those guys, Chaluch, who always you talk about, especially the energy bringers or the energy takers, the dividers or the multipliers. I think this guy, certainly he's an energy bringer. He's going to bring a lot of energy to the defense, a lot of youth.
And he's going to be be a big special teams guy. Yeah, I heard. Yeah. All right. So how about Anthony McFarland? I like this guy.
Wow. I thought this was such a nice pick. You know what I mean? Just looking at this guy here. It's interesting because one of the challenges I thought coming into the draft is like, you got to have a lot of incompletes on the guys, don't you think? I mean, you can't see guys. The pro days were canceled. Sure, you had the things going on in Indy in the combine, but the pro days are canceled, and then the personal visits where they bring in like 30 guys into the South Side and be able to talk to them and stuff. So I would think you get some incompletes, and one of the incompletes you're worried about is a guy like McFarland who had some ankle issues last year, but you got a little insider observation going on because Coach Tomlin's son was down in Maryland, and Matt Canada coached this guy, so I would think that you had some pretty reliable info.
And Scotty Montgomery.
Oh, Scotty's down there.
Yeah. So I love this guy. He's a 4'4" guy, 5'9", 198. He's very compact. He's explosive. He hits the hole quick, and he's got great vision, great change of direction. He's fast. He can run you over. He can juke you, and he can run away from you. Yeah, great acceleration. And I love when he bounces it outside. I saw highlights of the game he played at Ohio State, 298 yards against Ohio State. Wow.
That's nice. Yes, he was averaging, I think he averaged like 14 yards a carry that day. The point which you make there, Chaluch, is when he hits the second level, man, he stomps on the accelerator. He goes, baby. You got to love that. Okay. The other thing about it is, you notice when he runs with the ball, he's very tight with the ball. He frames the ball very well. Not a lot of air gets between him and the ball. He keeps that tucked, kind of like Jerome Bettis a little bit.
Yeah.
Point and stuff like that. The other thing I thought, and I'm anxious to look at this, he seems to have good vision, and he can beat that eighth man in the box.
Right.
You know what I mean? In the hole, when he drops down, you got to be able to, as Russ Grimm used to say, oh, that guy, that's the back's man. Well, the back has to beat that man.
Yeah. And he's got a great jump cut. Jump cut. Yeah. So Kevin Dotson, what do you think of Kevin Dotson from Louisiana Lafayette?
Love him. I mean, come on. This is a fellow brother of the burger, man. I mean, this guy is a meat eater. Okay. Yeah. I'm just watching him. He clamps on. He's got some huge mitts. He's got like Mike Webster size hands.
Right.
Long hands, He clamps on and he just moves people. I mean, people go for a ride. When he gets those clamps on him, they go for a ride, Chaluch.
I love it. He's very aggressive. He's very physical. He's quick. You talk about his hands. He's quick hands, and he's very aggressive with his hands. And you know what? I was impressed that he was good on his pulls. He was good out in space. Stays on blocks. Hey, he wasn't even invited to the combine.
Kind of like you and me.
Yeah. We weren't invited to the combine.
But you know what we told our kids, remember? Oh, we were so good. We didn't need to go. They knew that.
Well, yeah. Well, I wasn't invited to the combine because I thought a combine was a farm.
But the thing that I love, exactly. But the thing that I love when you watch Kevin Dotson pull, like the counter trays back in the day. One of the things that Louisiana did, they'd run the counter tray with both the guard and tackle pulling. And he finds opposite colored jerseys and they don't cross his face without getting pounded. And that's what he goes out on those search and destroy missions, and he gets somebody. You got to get somebody. You can't go out there.
He's got, I love his feet. I love the way he is in space. And one thing that I love about him, he throws people down. He finishes blocks. That's what you like. He finishes blocks, and he's very, very physical. I like him.
Chaluch, one of the first things when I watched him and talking about finishing, it came to mind because, in this day and age of football, finishing blocks are not something that you see a whole lot all the time. And with this guy here, I think Gadzooks, this guy is a finisher at least as much as a modern millennial can be in this era of football anymore. And I love that. If he can bring that energy along with him like that to the pro game and sustain it, it says a lot for what he can bring to an offensive line.
Yeah. So the next pick was Antoine Brooks from Maryland, and he is a stud. Good tackler, very physical, 220 pounds. They talked about, Kevin and Mike talked about him. He could play sub linebacker. He could play safety. He's half each. He's very versatile.
Right, half safety, half linebacker, the sub package guy that maybe. It's a little bit like Devin Bush in some ways. He's a smaller packaged guy than this guy. But, there's a couple things that I saw that I thought I want you to throw your 2 cents in there on it. I watched him on a combo coverage. He's off the line of scrimmage, right? Yeah. His see-do in reading the intercept point with a receiver, it was outstanding. He sees it, he does it, as Mike Tomlin likes to say. It's a see-do thing. It's his reactive ability to analyze, break down, and get the job done in real time. And I'm watching him on a couple of them, and it was very interesting to me. Because this guy really showed a knack for jumping on some of the routes and getting after it. And he looks like a tough guy, if you ask me.
He's a good tackler, and he high points the ball. I saw him on one of his interceptions. He can play in the box. He can play center field. He's a hybrid player. He's very, very physical, and he's got I didn't see, like, we don't watch college film, but in his highlight film, I didn't see him miss a tackle. He's got great technique as a tackler, and he loves special teams. He wants to be a special teamer.
The other thing that I noticed in just watching was when you saw wide plays, ball into his hands, he was very adept at the Mike Tomlin. Mike always talks about you got to gobble up the grass before the player gets under control and starts to move forward. The pass comes out, he catches the ball. You as a defender, you can't wait. You gotta zoom up and get as close as you can before breaking down and getting that position of balance on the ball carrier. You know what I mean? He does a great job of that. He instinctively gets as close as you can get before you got to break down and come to balance. Because if you don't, a lot of times you whiff on a guy, right? But I just like the way this guy seemed to be able to close that distance before the offensive ball carrier, or the pass receiver, I should say, would catch the ball and be able to start to move forward. You got to shorten that distance between you and him.
Yeah, great angles. He's great angles. Yeah.
Well, that's the way to say it in 3 words instead of 300 like me.
Okay, the last pick, Carlos Davis from Nebraska, 6'3", 315, and a 4.8 40.
I know it. Are you kidding me? That's almost dangerous. That's like a runaway car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now the thing about it is, I was listening. Some of the talking heads were saying, his pad level is too high and stuff. Well, first of all, the guy's he's really only 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in there. All right. Now the second thing about it is, you watch him. This guy is a track and field athlete with a lot. He's got so much muscle twitch fibers. This guy is like. He's as explosive as a sneeze, okay? But he comes off the ball and he doesn't use his hands yet good. And I think that is going to be part of the problem. You let him get comfortable with using his hands such as what Carl Dunbar will teach him. The hand fighting stuff will increase his effectiveness and lower his pad level without a doubt.
You know, one of the things I saw that he does shoot his hands, but not consistently. He threw the discus and he threw the shot in college.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's got a great quick first step. Yeah, I like this first
shot, but not the discus. Because
Yeah.
you know what? When you spin around, I kept losing where I was at. I almost killed my coach.
Yeah.
The disc go a little early.
I threw the disc over the fence to the side.
You know,
So,
a little erratic in the.
Yeah. So he can play nose and he can play 3 technique, and
Right.
so he can run and he can rush the passer.
Well, very explosive, as we were talking about. That's what I love. I mean, we're talking about a 300-pounder running 4.8 something, and some guys even got a watch on them of like a high 4.7s.
Yeah, 4.79.
Yeah, okay, that's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that is somebody. It's almost like you know who he kind of remind me of. If he dropped 20 pounds, it'd be Levon Kirkland.
Yeah.
You can play him standing up. No. But you know, the point is, the guy is just very, very quick and explosive.
Yeah, he's got a good bull rush, and I saw him swim a guy. And good closing speed. Good closing speed on the quarterback. So he's going to be a player. I love the Steelers draft.
Oh, you know what? I think they drafted very, very well. I think they drafted. Yeah, I don't know. Some people just seemed a little rankled about it. You know, you hear everybody. You know, you get the discontent over this and that. I look at this and I go, golly, I think it's a great draft. You know, you got some people here with Chase Claypool. I can't even begin to tell you how does this guy last until the second round when you got one of the things that I also about Chase Claypool that I loved was his sideline skills, his awareness, body awareness, whether it's his toe tap or the 1 foot in and reaching to the out of bounds. Terrific. Then you got this Highsmith, who I think is energy. You know, then you got McFarland, who I think is going to help in the running game.
Right.
And also Kevin Dotson, he's going to help that running game. And then, you know, Antoine Brooks and Carlos Davis, a couple of guys that I think can, you know, get some reps possibly in their rookie year with the defense. So I think it's a good draft.
Well, that sums up our draft analysis. He's Wolf. I'm Tunch. We're in the living room. Wolf's got his pajamas still on, and
hey, let me ask you this: do you switch between your daytime and nighttime PJs? Because that's the only way I know how to go to bed.
I've been wearing sweats all day, every day.
Listen, here's what my daughter Megan says it the best, all right? She says, you and Uncle Tunch, you got to realize, you two guys, you're either built for speed or you're built for comfort. She goes, Dad, you're built for comfort. Uncle Tunch is built for speed.
I thought you were built for dessert.
That too, baby.
All right, so long, everybody. Thanks for joining us. God bless you, and God keep you safe.